Hi and welcome back. I'm Caroline Best of the Tao of Horsemanship. Here's Lovey. And today's video is an extension of the previous one on how to ask your horse to move forward. We're going to review that a little bit to get you going, because today we're going to talk about how to keep moving forward with your horse. Before I demonstrate, I want to go over a couple of important areas with you all. And we've got the baby here, so Lovey is going to get really protective of my space. Yeah, I know, Love. Lovey's a good sister, big sister to him. But this is good for the baby to learn. It's all good. Everything's a learning opportunity. So today we're going to discuss and demonstrate how to keep your horse moving forward and without kicking, excessive clucking, or an overuse of your aids. Because remember, we want to start out light and end up light. But we might have to use our supporting aids to get our horse tuned in, listening, or wake him up. We saw Lovey falling asleep last time. But then we want to go back to light though. That's the key. So like last week, I had a little checklist and in the order of how I wanted to use my aids. And I always carry a dressage whip. So I'm just going to ask the baby politely out. There you go. Good. Yeah, when I'm riding with other horses and I want the baby to learn, it's okay, Love. You don't need to take over. I'll carry my dressage whip. Okay. Thank you, Blue. All right, so let's review those aids. Your body, particularly your seat aid, is going to be the #1 aid you use when you ride, especially in my method. And it should be the lightest aid, meaning if your horse obviously can feel a fly on its back, and sometimes the way we brush or touch our horses, they don't like it, they shake it off, they can certainly feel the weight of your seat, let alone your seat influencing movement. The problem with most horses is they haven't been taught this way, right? They're taught to go by squeezing them, kicking them, clucking, whatever. So now we're going to go back to classical dressage, where the seat is the captain, and the seat is the director. It shows the horse where to go and how fast or slow to go. So again, your seat is the first aid, and I'll demonstrate in a minute how we're going to go and then how to keep going. And if my horse doesn't respond to my seat, that's when I'm going to add my supporting aids. And I have many of them, with the second one, the second aid, being a cluck. If the cluck doesn't work, or smooch, if that doesn't work to tune my horse in or wake him up, like Lovey keeps falling asleep, I'll add my crop lightly. So I'll add my crop by lightly touching her or tapping her. The important thing is don't forget to use your light aid the whole time. Remember what I just said. Don't forget to use your first and light aid the whole time. So often when we're going through this with my students, they try the seat aid, they try the seat aid, they try the seat aid, it doesn't work and they stop and they just go to clucking. That doesn't work and they stop and they just go to X, Y, and Z. Remember, every supporting aid, it's a support. It's a support to what? Your light aid. So you must keep using your light aid, add a supporting aid, and add enough of a supporting aid until your horse goes or responds, does what you ask, then go back to that light aid. That's so key, absolutely key. So don't forget that point. Here we go. We do have the baby here. So I'm going to switch my whip to the left because we're going to be traveling left. I want the camera to catch. I'm going to go over the review of the previous video of how I asked my horse to go. So I'm going to look. Remember, pick a direction. Going forward is the hardest right now when you're at a stop. Going forward is the hardest. Until you and your horse really get in tune and in sync with this way of riding, pick a direction. I'm going to pick left. And so what has to happen? I'm going to lift up my left leg just a little. Just lift it up. Put more weight in my outside leg, my right thigh, not my calf. I'm not touching my horse with my calves. It's thighs. So I'm in seat bones. sit bones. So I'm gonna just lift up my left a little, apply more pressure with my right thigh, look to my left, lift my left rein, keep looking, and rock. Good, rock. Remember, my butt never left my horse's back though. Come on. So let's do that again, and let me show what 99% of you are gonna do in the very beginning. Let me move the baby out. Out. Good girl. Nope, the baby, not you. Go get him. Get him. Come on. Yep, out. Thank you. So what most of you end up doing is I'm telling you to sit back and rock, get a pushing movement. Most of you do this. You put space between your hind knee and the horse's back, and then you lean forward. And when you lean forward, you just threw all your weight on your horse's forehand, making it harder for them to move. So remember, everything's about the hind end. It's a comedy show here. Now she's going after the whip. Everything's about your horse's hind end. So you want to keep as much of your weight back behind the center of gravity. We've gone through all of this in the previous videos. All right, well, thank you. I look forward to your comments or questions. The next video, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be about creating focus. How do you follow your focus when you ride? It's so important to setting you up for confidence too, and safety, and balance. May you always be one with your horse.